Comparison is the thief of joy when applied broadly and the teacher of skills when applied narrowly. What's happening, peoples? Today I had an interval session. I'm going to put the splits up there somewhere. Today I'll come to talk to you about comparing yourself to other people. I just saw a guy just ran past me, and the speed he was running at, I think that might be me sprinting. But along this running journey, it's taken me a little while to realise the only person that you need to compare yourself to is you. I saw a post by James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, and it said, to improve, compare little things, and to be miserable, compare big things. Comparison is the thief of joy when applied broadly and the teacher of skills when applied narrowly. So you shouldn't compare your career path, your net worth, or your relationship. But you can compare training techniques, writing tactics, and marketing strategies. So as I've just seen a guy just run past me, it reminded me of when I first started running, and I'd post my runs to my friends. One of my friends would post his runs. Whenever he posted his run, I'd always feel like I'm not doing enough. It made me feel worse about my run, when the only person that I should have been comparing myself to is myself, and taking into consideration that I'd only been running for 3 months and he'd been running for 4 years. So there is no comparison really. What am I actually comparing to? He's putting more work than me. What I should have been asking him, or should have been comparing, is how does he train? How does he rest? How does he eat? All of the things that you need if you want to get better at running. But looking at it too wide and trying to keep up with him was ego on my part. It was him that would say to me, don't worry about the speed. I'm going to admit to you, there's a lot of times when I didn't listen because I thought, well, you're quick, so how can I not worry about the speed? But he was right. I didn't have to compare myself to his speed. What I did have to do was set my own goals that were within my reach or slightly out of my reach so I could achieve them and work hard in trying to achieve them. But I didn't have to run at the pace that he was running at. I will say though, there was a day that we did run together and he picked up the pace a little bit and I had to match him. Sometimes you just got to be a bit competitive, and admittedly, I am a bit competitive. Getting back to comparison being the thief of joy, if you're new to running, you can't look at other runners that are running 10Ks in 37 minutes, 5Ks in 17 minutes, half marathons in hour and 15. You're not there yet. Why should you be there? You've got plenty of time to get there. That's the beauty of it. You can only get better. And you have to consider there's more to running than just running. There's the strength and conditioning work. And there's stretching and recovery. There's sleep, there's drinking water, there's what you eat. There's so much to it. It's not just getting out there and running. It's about doing the stuff that you don't want to do, which is, for me, leg day. Now I've got to enjoy it, make leg day my own. Don't compare yourself to runners doing almost superhuman times, but maybe compare what their training strategies are. And you've got to ask yourself, do you have enough time to dedicate to that training strategy? Do you have enough time? How many runs can you fit in a week? How many gym sessions can you fit in a week? Have you got a family and all those kind of things? If you've got other commitments and you've got a family and things like that, then you might not necessarily be looking to be a professional runner. So your priorities are slightly different. What I would say is, if you're new to running, don't compare yourself to people that have been running for years. Try to figure out what their training plans are, and if they've got training plans, follow their training plans. Or ask somebody who you see running what their training plan is, how they got fast, what kind of workouts did they do, things like that, and compare that to what you're doing and see if there's ways that you can improve on what you're doing. Once you can see a way to improve, the only thing left to compare yourself to would be to you. And what was your last run like? How did it go? What could have gone better? What could you improve on? If you couldn't improve on nothing, then it's perfect. If you could have, then there's something more that you could have done. Don't necessarily compare running times and things like that, because that's a surefire way to ensure that you won't enjoy the process. And running is hard as it is. Best thing you can do is enjoy the process. Put your shoes on, let's go.